You know that feeling when someone invites you out, and your first thought isn't excitement, it's how do I say no without sounding like a hermit? You're not lazy, you're not boring, but somewhere along the way, your home stopped being just a place you live and became the only place you feel complete. And here's the thing, you probably think you know why you love staying home. But what if I told you the real reason is far more complex than you think? Like the moment plans come up, something inside you sighs. Not because you hate people, but because being out there asks more of you than it once did. And the strange part is, you can be mentally busy all day, scrolling, watching, reading, responding. Yet the idea of stepping outside still feels like too much. That contradiction matters. Most explanations stop at personality. You're an introvert. You need to recharge alone. You've just changed. And sure, for some people that's true. But that explanation starts falling apart when you notice this. This preference didn't arrive fully formed. It grew. You didn't wake up one day suddenly loving home. You slowly started needing it. And that tells us this isn't just who you are. It's something you adapted to. Here's what often goes unnoticed. At home, you don't have to manage yourself. You don't have to read faces, adjust your tone, monitor how you're coming across. You don't have to decide when to speak or when to leave. You don't have to be on. At home, everything runs on your timing. And quietly, your brain learns something important. This is easier, not happier, not more meaningful, just easier. And it's not because home is empty. It isn't. There's always something to do, something to check, something to consume. Enough stimulation to keep you engaged. Not enough unpredictability to unsettle you. A message you can answer later. A video you can pause. A thought you don't have to explain. Out in the world, none of that control exists. You can't pause a conversation. You can't edit a reaction. You can't step away without explanation. So your nervous system does what it's designed to do. It compares, and it quietly decides, this environment costs less. This didn't happen because something is wrong with you. It happened because modern life made this trade-off possible. For most of history, stimulation required movement. Connection required presence. Reward required effort. Now reward comes to you. Your phone delivers novelty, distraction, even closeness, without asking you to navigate uncertainty or other people's emotions. So your brain adapts, not consciously, not deliberately. It simply learns that staying still produces a similar outcome, with fewer variables to manage. And once that pattern sets in, outside doesn't feel hostile. It just feels inefficient. For some people, there's another layer. Maybe you spent time in environments where being yourself felt risky, where you had to be careful, where your energy had to be managed. In that case, home didn't just become comfortable, it became relief. A place where nothing is expected of you, where you don't have to explain you're quiet, where you don't have to perform to exist. Your brain isn't avoiding the world. It's protecting you from a version of it that felt demanding. But here's where this quietly shifts. The more you optimize for ease, the narrower your tolerance becomes. Not in a dramatic way, in small ways. You don't stop caring about people. You just stop initiating. You don't avoid connection. You delay it. Conversations still happen, but depth becomes rarer. Days pass smoothly, but without texture. And because the digital world gives you just enough engagement, you don't immediately feel the loss. It doesn't feel like isolation. It feels like maintenance. And maintenance slowly starts to feel like living. Just notice one thing. The discomfort usually isn't being outside. It's being outside while expected to be something. So instead of pushing yourself into social situations, try something quieter. Go somewhere without a role. No plans. No conversations to manage. No version of yourself to maintain. A short walk. Sitting somewhere public without interacting. Not to socialize. Not to change anything. Just to let your nervous system relearn something simple. That the world can exist around you without demanding your energy. That's how tolerance expands. Not through force, but through neutral presence. That's how staying home stops being the only place you can breathe and becomes one place among many. If any of this felt familiar, stay here. At Psych Notion, we don't tell you what to fix. We help you see what your mind is responding to and what it might be quietly trading away. Sometimes clarity is enough to change the direction.